school nightmare. It all started in high school. A few weeks in, I made friends and was keen on making more. So I tried to talk to everyone that I could. I was still somewhat new to the school, and one day I got lost. So I met the guy who would eventually become my stalker. He showed me around. We made conversation, and at first I thought he would be nice as a friend to have. A week passed, and I had made a few friends at this point. I wanted to hang out with them as much as I could. I felt a little bad because my other friend was a bit of a loner, so I invited him to come hang out with us. He didn't talk much at first, but then he started talking more, mostly to me, asking advice on life. I was happy to help until he started asking me to pat his head like a dog and make him wear a leash. A bit weird, you might say. I passed it off as a joke and I humored him, something I shouldn't have done, as he started calling me master or mistress. I asked him not to do that, and I told him I wasn't comfortable with this behavior, but it apparently was too late to fix things. It happened day after day. He started skipping his classes to walk into and get kicked out of mine. He followed me all day, and if I had to go to the restroom, guess who followed me inside? I asked him to stop so many times. He wouldn't, so I got the school involved. Well, I tried. They had no proof of stalking. I found that kind of strange since many teachers have kicked him out of my class, but nevertheless, nothing happened. Except him getting more, let's say, protective. I asked one of my guy friends to help me out with some homework one night. My stalker overheard this from around the corner and didn't like who I asked for help. He fought every male I talked to. Some would find this flattering, but I found it annoying. I tried to tell him not to worry, that we were just friends, but his exact wording was, "They don't deserve you. They are worthless compared to my master." I tried to get him to stop. I yelled at him, and I do feel bad because it was quite harsh, but it was the only way to get through his thick head. I thought I was finally free from that cycle. He finally stopped following me, until one day I found this letter in my locker. In this letter, my stalker gave his disgust for males and his hate for himself, that he must be evil for his master to treat him this way, and that he must be punished. That I must be taught not to shun pets. It was a few pages long and it was very disturbing. In fact, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever read, especially when I got done reading it and looked up and saw him staring at me from down the hall. He came up to me and opened his phone and started showing me pictures of, well, cartoon characters who had a similar appearance to me, with the same brown eyes and curly hair. Then he gave me a leash for him and asked me to walk him around, and at that point I ran away, up to the office, letter in hand. The principal, after 5 visits, finally had the proof he needed to step in. The cops got involved, and soon after a restraining order was put in place. He wasn't allowed within 50 feet of me. About a month later, I was sitting in my room doing some homework when I heard a scratch at the window. I looked over, and to my horror, he was just standing outside my bedroom window. He had a collar on his neck and a leash dangling from it. He was intensely glaring at me through the glass, his face then crooked into a disgusting grin before licking the surface of the window and running off. Thankfully, I moved out of that town a month later, but after the nightmare I had last night, I decided to write all this down. Being stalked is not romantic or fun. It is terrifying, bone-shaking, nerve-wracking, and the worst thing I have ever gone through. I have no idea how he is now or what he is up to. I just hope that he got those issues worked out. Honestly, if I was this person, I would have got that thing a long time before she did. But at least it was taken care of. But it's just more reason to always be careful who you keep around.